Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Wrestling Bubble. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. We watch AEW Dynamite so you don't have to. My name's Richard. I'm here with Anastasia. And we're here to talk about Dynamite. Was it Dynamite or was it a dud? Well, let's talk about it. So, grab a snack, grab a drink, whatever you may need to help you relax, kick back. Let's talk about it. AEW Dynamite. How the show start off?
Show started off with an 8-man tag team match. This match was long. It was dull. And to me, honestly, it was kind of boring.
Oh. Oh my god. You know what this match was? 1,000 moves times 1,000, okay? Like, this match took way too long. There was no reason for this match to go like 20 something minutes. There was nothing on the line. There's barely like a little rivalry or feud or whatever they got going on built up.
No.
Like, this is a nothing match. Like, why did this take so long?
In the 8-man tag match, we had an AEW Intercontinental Champion, Kenny Omega. Then we had Mark Briscoe, Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Kevin Knight versus AEW Continental Champion, Okada, Ricochet, and the Young Bucks, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson. Ugh.
So with all those people named, you already know it was just going to be 1,000 moves, a bunch of flips, no selling. I mean, just...
And there were so many botches.
How many false finishes? Exactly, botches, because they're doing so many moves, and they're doing them in such a short period of time. With no selling, by the way. I mean, how... There's always going to be botches, because they're doing so many moves, and the matches they're always too long.
Even the crowd was asleep. The crowd was not into the match, probably towards the last 2 minutes of the match, probably. But I'm still to the point, I don't even know who Kevin Knight is. All I know is that WWE wanted him. He rejected WWE, went to AEW to do what exactly?
Moves.
That's it.
That's all he's doing is a bunch of moves that nobody's seeing, because who's watching the show? Nobody.
And to end the match, we had Okada pin Briscoe 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, who didn't see that coming?
Exactly.
All right, what happened next?
Next, we have a segment with the "We heard people." We heard people. Pretty much, basically, during the segment, you have MVP speaking to Shelton and Bobby, explaining how having MJF in the group can actually benefit them. But of course, we still have Bobby still iffy about MJF. What is your thoughts about MJF joining the Hurt Syndicate?
Well, I'd like to start by saying, obviously, this was the best thing on the show, at least right now. This is the best thing on the show. This is everybody's questioning, like, why does MJF want to join them? At least he's got you thinking. I mean, he's making you follow every segment of what's going on with the Hurt business and MJF. I mean, I'm intrigued. I want to know what it's going to take. Bobby Lashley, he told him, I want to see you hurt people.
That was later in the night. The next, after that segment, honestly, before I move on to the next match, I actually want to see what happens when MJF joined the Hurt Syndicate. I know it's like they're trying to make this a long draw, to see if MJF or Bobby ever going to coexist. But the way how I'm seeing it, I hope they do. But at the same time, I'd have a feeling MJF is just going to turn on them down the road. Like, I feel like MVP feel like he got one over MJF, but I feel like MJF have 10 steps ahead of them.
Yeah, I feel like MJF knew they were like the new boys in town. They were going to be the top dogs. They were going to be the biggest threat to him, right? Because he's AEW. So he would tear them apart from the inside out. That's what's happening right now. MJF's just trying to find a way in, and of course he's letting out a little bit of who he really is every time. You know, they reject him, Bobby Lashley, and specifically. But I think it's just for him to infiltrate the group and tear it apart. And honestly, I think MVP is actually a couple steps ahead of MJF.
Well, about to find out down the road. The next match we have is a trios match. Our AEW trios champs, the Hobbs, Shibata, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Titus, Miles Hawkins, and Nick Enhancement
talent, okay?
A bunch of nobodies. Let's just cut to the chase. Basically, the Hobbs won. Then you have John Moxley and his people came out and attacked them.
Yeah, the Death Riders. It was what it was, a brawl. After the match, John Moxley runs in the crowd. Samoa Joe cuts a promo. Of course, when Joe talks, it always sounds good, but really, it was just to announce that, okay, instead of running, I'm going to lock you inside of a steel cage.
So now we have a steel cage match on the next pay-per-view, and who didn't see that coming? Every John Moxley match to me is the same.
Yeah. It's just a matter of, okay, is Samoa Joe going to win? No. Okay, on to the next.
Exactly. So that is pretty much the match that's going to happen on Breach Break. So honestly, I'm not looking forward to the match, but at the same time, I am, because Samoa Joe is a great person in the ring. John Moxley matches to me is always boring, 0 out of 10, because they always end the same way: hardcore, bleed, no sell.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, because Samoa Joe is involved, this will actually be good. Plus, throwing a steel cage on top of that, this will be good because Joe knows how to do that brawling style, but he knows how to make it look good. It'll be up to Moxley to match him, which I think in a match like this with Samoa Joe's not going to let the match be crazy like John Moxley crazy where it doesn't make sense. Joe's a veteran, you know what I mean? So I think this will be good, but unfortunately, I don't think the outcome's going to be good. I think John Moxley's going to beat Samoa Joe and...
Yeah, because I don't know if John Moxley's holding on the belt for, what's his name, Darby Allin, or possibly Swerve getting the belt back so we can have Hangman and Swerve finally do the final, rematch, or the final rematch of this 7-day rounds they've been doing. But we'll see, because right now we just know Samoa Joe's just giving John Moxley another opponent to beat until the rightful person wins the title. But moving from that segment, we have Renee Paquette interviewing the TBS champion Mercedes Moné.
I can't say that I cared about anything that they were talking about. And I can't say that Mercedes held my attention because I'm pretty sure all she was talking about is who she's beat. She's known around the world. She's beat everybody around the world.
Global champion, by the way. 25-0 in AEW.
Yeah.
Now let's be honest. In WWE, she would not have that record.
Negative.
No.
I remember she always had the shortest title reigns.
7 days.
We normally call those transitional champions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so she can do 1,000 moves in a match, so she's supposed to be goated. I don't think so.
Still looking for it because I am looking for Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter. Unfortunately, we all know how that's going to end. Or unless we get Athena to interfere.
This is literally the only way Mercedes would lose, because it is the right situation where she's not going to lose a belt or a title. So she could lose, but how would she lose? By interference, of course, right? Behind the ref's back, Athena comes in, gets her lick back, and then we get a match or a storyline, hopefully, involving Athena and Mercedes Moné. We get the long-term booking, right?
Book it, TK.
Toni Storm versus Jamie Hayter for the real AEW Women's World Champion. I mean, that is a story right there. You get 2 stories out of one tournament. I mean, why not? Your top women are all in full-blown storylines now. That makes sense.
I mean, none of the men are.
Exactly. And Tony Storm's been carrying AEW. So, just saying. When Swerve was supposedly, what the most popular person in AEW, I think Tony Storm had him beat.
Oh, by far.
Yeah. So, moving on past this.
To the next interview, Renee Paquette interviewed Nick Wayne and the
Patriarchy.
Yeah. We couldn't even get too much into the interview because then you have Jay Lethal interfering with Nick Wayne's interview, talking about how he wants to go against the champ, the ROH champ TV. But of course, you have Christian interfering, talking about you're going to do the match. I don't know what Christian has in store for Nick Wayne. I don't know if they're trying to make Nick Wayne a babyface. And again, I hope it doesn't happen because it's like all y'all doing is just treating Nick Wayne how Christian was treating
Luchasaurus.
Exactly.
I'm gonna tell you, look, Christian is being a tough father because he wants to see the very best from his son, Nick Wayne. And so does Mother Wayne. So he's going to push him hard. It's going to come across as tough love. But ultimately, Nick Wayne will be a better man because of it. Yeah, this is what Christian Cage told me, So, yeah, so that's what's going on with them. And I like it. Like, I feel like we're finally going to see Nick Wayne involved in a storyline besides being like, background to whatever the story is. So Nick Wayne's front and center. Christian Cage is right there with him. I think we're going to get a really good story between these two. The patriarchy in general, but like specifically Christian Cage and Nick Wayne. This is really going to showcase how good inside the ring and outside the ring Nick Wayne is.
Yeah.
And whenever I can get more Christian Cage on TV, especially promo segments, I'll take it, okay? More of this, please.
At least they're doing a storyline with that, the family with Nick Wayne and Christian Cage. I just hope it is about father tough love and not making Nick Wayne turn into a baby face because I can't really see Nick Wayne as a baby face. And if he ever do become a baby face, to me it would be a boring character for him and he's gonna get lost in the shuffle. So he better stick with Christian Cage if he wants to make it far.
I would tell you though, if he ever became a babyface, not anytime soon of course, but like a babyface when he ends up being like really over with the audience, then you look over to your right, you've got a really good heel in Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. If they ever built them up right, I mean, Kyle Fletcher is already figuring it out.
We'll talk more about Kyle Fletcher down the road.
But yeah, I could like if Nick Wayne ever went babyface, and this is only because the crowd pushed him in that direction, like, and they really have to get behind him. Okay. His perfect dance partner would be Kyle Fletcher.
I could see that if you get Nick Wayne a couple more reps in, because Kyle Fletcher.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. This is no time soon. Like obviously he's gotta put in some work first. He's like really gotta start really figuring out, the entertainment side of wrestling.
Exactly, and charisma, that matters a lot. Interacting with the audience and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's really got to figure that part out.
So what's the next match we had after this segment?
Well, next up we have the AEW Women's World Title Eliminator match between Toni Storm and Mayu Yamshita. I believe that's how you say it. And right now she's on, I guess, like a tour, fighting in different promotions. So this was one of her stops where she challenges the AEW World Champion Women's World Champion Toni Storm. And what do you think about this match? How'd it go?
It was an okay match. Again, a few botches. I know in one of the during the match you have Mayu pinning Tony Storm, and they were supposed to be 1-2, and I guess she was supposed to lift Tony Storm, or Tony Storm was supposed to kick it. It was just, it looked sloppy right there, because Tony Storm kicked that, but then she's lifting her up like she was supposed to pick her up, and it's like, honestly, I just couldn't wait for the match to be over, because I'm like, after I see a few botches in the match, I'm like, okay, clearly y'all don't rehearse, before a match or anything. It's just make up as you go kind of thing. And it's obvious because a lot of these matches, I mean, to me, all night just been botches. Botches, slow mo to like make sure you're, doing the moves right. And it's like, if y'all don't rehearse it, just don't do it. I feel like they need to start rehearsing matches, like production, whatever they need to do to make stuff look smoother. Because everything tonight to me just looked a little sloppy.
Hey,
and I'm a Tony Storm fan.
Hey, you sounding like The Rock right now.
I'm just saying.
I think it's real.
No, I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, like I guess they're trying to call it in the ring, right? And there's probably a language barrier happening, so there's a breakdown in communication. In the fact that everybody always has to do 1,000 moves, and the matches have to always be long.
Yeah, you have like,
so the longer the match, the more moves they're bound to botch.
And to the point, all those moves look the same.
It's just like, okay, well, guess what, guys? You just happen to be botching a lot. Okay?
Right.
So maybe tone it down. Like, not every match has to be 20 minutes or 15 minutes minimum. Like, and then, I mean, if they were selling a majority of the match and there was some crowd interaction, to further the in-ring psychology of whatever story they're telling, then that's one thing. But they're literally just going move for move for move for move, and it's a 50-50 match until like 19 minutes and 30 seconds in. Finally, somebody starts selling a move.
Yeah, because all you see is Mayu hit a kicks here, kicks there, a few kicks to Tony's butt toss. Then you have Tony trying to hit the hip attack. Yeah, Mayu dodging the hip attack. Then you have Tony dodging one of her kicks. To end the match, we have Tony hit the Storm Zero for a 1-2-3. And as she was about to celebrate, you have the CEO TBS champion walking out to basically so-called quote unquote congratulate Tony Storm.
Man, look, the match was a nothing burger. I like Tony Storm, so it is what it is as far as that goes. But I like the fact that, we may see Mercedes and Tony Storm.
Yeah, I do like that they're showing them interacting a little more.
Right, because I want to see the stars interact with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, that's cool that you guys are trying to elevate some of the, younger talent or some of the not so, like the unknown talent, basically, like at least on a bigger scale or whatever, right? But I need to see Mercedes versus Tony Storm. I need to see Tony Storm versus Megan Bayne. I need to see Megan Bayne versus, just keep
Where
naming
the heck is Megan Bayne?
whoever the top stars are. Can we please have them on TV every week, okay? Because don't nobody want to see half these people they always have on TV.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Ring of Honor's for. Hello? like why are we seeing these super long matches when we could see more stars in shorter shorter segments or whatever, but like at least they'll be on the show. Like, if every match is 20 minutes, we're only going to have so many promo segments, we're only going to have so many backstage segments, vignettes, video packages, recaps. I mean, it's that's when it becomes predictable and it's becomes stale, boring, okay? And that's when your viewership goes down, like it is. That's when your attendance is down, like it is, But I do want to see Jamie Hayter beat Mercedes Moné, and I want Athena to cause Mercedes to lose so that we get that story. Because, like, we need to see the top women interact with each other. People have been wanting to see Athena on AEW Dynamite, right? Because we haven't seen her for what, like 2 years?
Pretty much.
Okay. So this is the opportunity right here. And then she's going to be on TV with Mercedes Moné in a feud.
Yeah, because it was like a quick feud. Like, she was on an Owen Hart Cup, and then it's like gone.
That was a sample. Okay. So hopefully TK does the right thing and tells the story. Okay. Because we need to finish the story. Okay. Can we please do that? And yes, we need to also finish the story with Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter, because it's right there in your lap. All you got to do is just cross that finish line.
Exactly. So I think they're 1-1, aren't they?
Look, whatever it is, we need more of it, okay? We need Jamie Hayter to get right back in the main event scene now, okay? I need her to dye her hair back blonde with the little black streaks in it, okay? Because Mercedes Moné said it better than me, okay? She's dressing like a Scooby-Doo cosplay character. Nobody want to see that.
Jamie Hayter even came out like she was, what's his name? Fred from Scooby-Doo.
Oh, my gosh, man. Look, come on. Look, Jamie. Look, we realized you was gone for a while with that injury, but you back now. You back at work, okay? We need you to come back to the office like you used to dress. How you used to look, okay? Because, like, the red hair ain't doing it.
No.
Sorry. It ain't happening. Okay? It works for Becky Lynch, but it ain't a good look for you.
Mm-mm. So moving on from this segment, we had the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin with MVP coming to the ring. So they started off with MVP. This is an official announcement from the Hurt Syndicate. So as we all know, they've basically been trying to add a fourth member to their group. And if anyone doesn't know, we've been so far, MJF have got Shelton Benjamin, yes. MVP obviously said yes. So the last yes he needs is Bobby Lashley. So we have MVP calling out MJF to come out so they can do their final vote. So, of course, Shelton still said yes. MVP said yes. And then Bobby Lashley basically made MJ wait for what, 2 minutes or whatever?
Man, that Joker held his thumb sideways forever.
Forever. To the point, I think it was Taz that said, I never thought, judging was this.
Yeah,
there's like, so much drama.
So much drama.
For like a thumb going.
Yeah. That was.
Or
that
Tony,
was
one of them. But it was funny because it's true. It's like, dang, you never thought a whole thumb judgment was so much drama.
I forgot commentary was even there until they said that.
Because they don't tell a story.
God,
why
can I
there?
get some personality? Can I say more stuff like that? Like help tell the story. Like,
right.
Jesus.
So to fast forward, Bobby Lashley still gave the thumbs down, toying with MJF. So, of course, MJF is upset about that. So you get MJF and Bobby basically arguing back and forth. You have MJF calling him a big ball, you know what, and everything. Then, of course, that pissed Bobby off, and Bobby put him to the corner saying, we hurt people. So basically, he wants to see MJF hurt somebody. And then I'm guessing maybe he'll have his approval?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it seems like MVP is set on MJF coming into the Hurt business, or excuse me, Hurt Syndicate. I think Bobby Lashley will come around, like we all know, give him a chance, and then MJF will proceed to mess it all up, like he always does.
I won't be surprised if Bobby let him come in, but he has a backup plan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, MVP keeps reminding them, listen, we give this guy a chance, blah, blah, blah. And then if he messes up, we'll hurt him.
Because they hurt people.
Exactly. So, look, they already, it's like, okay, yeah, you could come in. You mess up, though, you going to get the beat down.
that's pretty much it. So that pretty much wrap up that segment. Before we move on to the next one, I am looking forward to this story because this is the only storyline that's catching my attention: the Hurt Syndicate and MJF. Because many of us pretty sure that we feel like Cedric that Alexandria might join. So I feel like that's why they're like prolonging this vote thing to bring in Cedric.
Yeah, because it'd be like whenever Bobby finally does the thumbs up, I think MJF's gonna think it was for him, but it's actually gonna be for Cedric.
Oh, that would be a good twist.
You know what I mean?
And then Cedric comes
be
out
like behind MJF.
Right,
if
right.
they could somehow do it like that, like when MJF's in the ring and maybe he's closer, right? They're not like really far apart. They have to be a little bit closer. Give Cedric the room to pop up behind MJF, and then that's when you get like whether it be like a low blow or I don't know, however they're gonna do it, but like that'd be the perfect way to avoid MJF even being in the group in the first place.
And then I'm pretty sure that's not gonna end there because now we know that FTR is possibly coming for the AEW Tag Team Champion. So I can see MJF screwing them over for that.
Yeah, I could see like a reemergence of the Pinnacle, and that's why I was thinking about Wardlow. Wardlow coming back, equaling the odds. We get the Pinnacle versus the Hurt Syndicate. Just like a whole big feud between them.
I don't think Wardlow will come back.
I mean, at this point, if he ever comes back,
I think
that would be the best way to bring him back,
and
then that could rehab his image and like kind of reset him and get him back to like how people used to look at him.
No, I don't think Wardlow coming back.
Man, if he ain't coming back, because he's been out forever though.
Because I know he was injured, came back. I think he got injured again, but I'm pretty sure he's just letting his contract ride at this point to leave.
Man,
because he's not using him.
That's what I'm. But he has been injured though.
Yeah. Nah, I think he's gone.
But I mean, it's like how much was he using him before he got
exactly?
So there's that.
So moving on from this segment, we have the ROH World TV Champ match. Nick Wayne versus Jay Lethal. Speed 4, Nick Wayne won. This match was boring. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought when Jay Lethal was about to hit the elbow drop, his legs were still straight. I thought he was about to blow his knees out.
Yeah.
It was scary.
It looked like Edge, like when he leaped from the top of the cage or whatever, and yeah, it was going through the table, but yeah, it was terrible. That elbow drop looked like straight trash.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into that segment because it's like when Jay Lethal, like I said from the start, showed up there in the interview, I was like, he's still there?
Yeah. He had the Keith Lee facial hair with the gray in it. I mean, yeah, it wasn't a look, man. If you're not gonna do the elbow drop right, you got to drop it, okay? Macho Man wouldn't have been proud of that.
No.
That elbow drop looked like trash. Okay. Mid. That was terrible. Like, stop doing it, man. Like, I get he can like do the impersonations and stuff, but it's like, man, if your moves aren't looking good, maybe you need a different act. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with this match at all. But don't want to get too much in there because, like I said, there was really nothing in the match. Nothing really stand out besides botches at the botches, of course. So we're just going to move on from that. Of course, you have Christian Cage putting the belt on Nick Wayne. And I don't know, towards the end, you have Nick Wayne backing up instead of celebrating with his fan. Because, like, dude, you did some heel stuff during Jay Lethal.
Yeah. Look. That's what I mean by once Nick Wayne figures it out outside of the ring, then he'll be something. You know, like until then, he's always gonna kind of come across as very indie, match driven, like where he does all his moves and tries to get over on the crowd. But that's only gonna get you so far. Like they have to be able to relate to you. They gotta be able to grab onto something about your personality. You know, so until he starts showing that and actually learning how to control the audience, then he's just gonna be flippy guy number whatever, But I do like the fact that he's with Christian and they're telling the story, because through the stories is where you can kind of open up your acting skills and whatnot. Like, you know what I mean? Show some charisma.
Well, moving on to the main event. We have the Owen Hart Foundation's men's tournament semi-final match. Kyle Fletcher versus Hangman Adam Page. Again, a long-term match.
Yeah. Okay, so the proto star, Kyle Fletcher. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about like some charisma. This dude, he's figured that out. Like he's a really good heel. He's young. He like when he cut his hair, at first I was like, what is this guy doing? It's much better now. Like it fits what he's going for. Like you can see the attitude. You could see like just his personality exude. Like this guy is giving off like ravishing Rick Rude and just like a straight Ken Shamrock type of like just pissed off look. Like Kyle Fletcher, look, Tony obviously he's not gonna know what to do with him.
No.
But I want him to at least figure himself out and then just go to WWE, dude. Like he would be so much better off. Like he finally found a character and like how to present it, and he's great in the ring. Like go to WWE as soon as you can. Good God. Like this dude right here, he figured it out. So
and not NXT either.
Exactly. Like cuz look, he's better than Ricky Saints, Starks. Like he's better than Ethan Page. He's better than all them dudes already. And he's young.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys have been in the industry for like 17, 15 years. Kyle Fletcher is young. And he's already figured it out. Think about it. He's young just like MJF.
Yeah. He's still got some growing to do.
Exactly. He's got plenty of time to grow more. And he's already as good as he is.
So we have Kyle Fletcher pretty much was trying to cheat himself to a victory. He low blow Adam Page, hit him with his finisher for a 1-2-3, but unfortunately Adam Page kicked out at a 1-2. So basically what I'm understanding, because remember everyone who watched wrestling know a low blow pretty much ends as a match.
Right.
So,
but this is AEW.
Exactly. Fight forever. And instead, when Adam Page kicked out, he hit Kyle Fletcher with his buckshot lariat from the corner. Then he hit a second buckshot lariat to pin Kyle Fletcher for the 1-2-3. I like Adam Page, but I wish he didn't win because Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay has more of a story, and they probably would fight each other probably twice, 1-1 or something like that. And I was actually looking forward for Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay for one more time. But at the same time, I'm glad he didn't win either, because then it would probably just be Will Ospreay winning the thing.
Look, what we needed Kyle Fletcher to beat Hangman. And it could have been by some kind of interference. I mean, he's in a whole group. He's in a whole group. Like, you got all these dudes with you. Like, why can't we just get him cheating to win? Like, why not? He's a heel. Okay? You're supposed to hate the fact that he cheated to win or whatever. He's a heel. And he needs it more than Adam Page does. Okay? And we could have had the following week Adam Page lurking around the backstage and Swerve coming up to him laughing. And Adam Page is like, yo, what's so funny? You lost again.
I see. To read.
You know, you say, I'm never going to get the AEW world title or whatever.
Right.
It looks like you won't be getting it either. You know what I mean? And reignite that feud. Tell that story.
You think
we
they're
need you
gonna
to
make-
finish that story too, Tony.
You think they're gonna make Adam Page beat Will Ospreay?
No, I think Will Ospreay wins that match.
Because this is
And
gonna
that's
be for the
probably when
AEW
we,
World
and that's probably
Championship,
when
right?
we get the Swerve and Hangman.
Again.
Okay, after. But see, that's why it's better if Kyle would have won tonight, because then you can tell the story with Kyle and Ospreay, and then you tell the story, or you start to continue telling the story between Hangman and Swerve. Once again, you get a 2-for-1 through a tournament. Okay, the same way like I was saying with Mercedes Moné and Athena and Tony Storm and Jamie Hayter. This is the same thing. See, like, but okay, let's see where it goes. I mean, I really see Will Ospreay winning the whole thing, but
as usual.
Adam Page is, got beef with John Moxley and whoever.
That's why I feel like it should be a swerve. Hangman should win. And then finally we can shut the noise of Hangman not getting a title shot, because he haven't had a title shot for almost 4 years probably?
Nah, like it basically since CM Punk was there.
Okay. Well, it's been a minute.
Yeah, around that time.
So that concludes our AEW review. Let us know in the comments what you think about AEW tonight. Do you think it was dull? It could have been better. If it could have been better, what match you feel like should have been better? What was your highlight of the night for AEW Dynamite tonight? I would say my highlight of the match, of course, was MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. To me, that's the only story that's getting my attention. What about you?
Definitely MJF Hurt Syndicate. But anytime Kyle Fletcher is involved in something, it has my attention. I was hoping that Kyle Fletcher will screw Will Ospreay out of winning the whole tournament so we can continue that story. I mean, we got to somehow connect the dots here. People have to lose for a reason, and then we need a story behind it. And that's the easiest way to do it right there.
I agree. I can see that, because then it would help one more time Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay.
Yep. And we need Kyle Fletcher to beat him.
Yeah. Young OG.
Exactly. Hey, he's a heel, but hey, he's the young OG.
Exactly. So that concludes our AEW review. Thank you for listening. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell. This is TWB. I am Anna.
And I'm Richard. And you've been listening to The Wrestling Bubble. We'll see you on the next one.
So make sure that you sit back, you grab something, you chew on something, and you drink on something.
And let's talk about it.